What is up? We're a few minutes late today. We tried something new. We're all about improving the user experience here. And so we tried something new and it failed horrendously. But we were trying to do something fun for you guys, something cool. So at least there's that. At least we were trying to do something for y'all. It failed miserably. We're going to try again soon. So anyway, we're here now. We're live. It's Friday. We'll go a little extra time because of that. Sorry for being late. Get you a producer who absolutely sells you out in the comments beforehand. Like you could blame YouTube and nobody would question it. You could blame a lot of stuff, but get you somebody who absolutely blames the person whose fault it is, which is me. So. Well, let's get after it. We're late today. Shout out the Animal House before we even get started. I know they're not even awake yet. So everybody that was in here on time, unlike myself, thanks to you guys, my guy Mike, Jody, Taylor, Jeffrey, everybody in here. Thank you guys for hanging out. Again, sorry for being late. Sorry for blowing it. Better late than never. Let's get started. Let's talk a little bit of FSU. I'm just trying to set stuff up. I'm all sweaty now. We haven't even started. What are you doing? I was watching Cops. Let's move this camera down just a little bit. And here we go. Jasper, my guy in here. Jasper, already the Super Chat leader, just carrying over from last week. We'll see if anybody can beat him. If you have questions, you have comments, you have things you want to talk about, happy to get those in. Miami will finish with okay, we'll start there. There's a battle going on right now in the Big Three. And we still say Big Three around here because, we can make fun of each other, Florida State, Miami, but we're not doing the whole Central Florida thing. But there is a battle going on in the Big Three, and it's only between two teams. Florida State's not involved here. There is a battle, and right now the Gators are leading it. Sorry about that, Ty. My guy Ty does a good job on the Miami stuff. Always hits the nail on the head. There's a battle going on between two of the Big Three teams. Florida State not involved. It's a Florida-Miami battle. And it is a battle for who is going to take home the offseason championship belt. And I'm telling you guys, Miami has led this for the last 20 years. Miami is the 20-time offseason champion in the Big Three. Nobody hypes the offseason like Miami. Nobody celebrates the offseason like the Hurricanes. But their title is being challenged this year because I've never seen, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you the secret to Florida challenging their title. Florida's doing a good job of challenging what Miami usually does. And I think the reason Florida's going to win the offseason championship this year is because Florida has completely punted on the regular season this year. The 2023 regular season, Florida is completely skipping that. They do not care at all. And Miami, they want to win their offseason championship. They want to win for the 21st year in a row. I get that. But Miami wants to win games too. Like I see Miami fans predicting between 8 and 10 games won. I think 8 is a reasonably optimistic prediction for Miami fans. I think 10 is a little extreme for the Canes. But the Gators don't care. Like Miami's not focused on the offseason as much as UF is. UF has completely thrown in the towel on this upcoming season. They don't care about it. They're already talking 2024 like they're going to be any better there. It doesn't matter. But Florida's bought in. Florida fans are completely bought in on the offseason championship, and I think for the first time in 2 decades, they're going to beat Miami in overhyping their offseason. And again, I think Florida is going to win the offseason championship this year. So congrats to the Gators. I think that's really impressive. They may end up hanging a banner for having a top 3 recruiting class in June. I think that's really impressive. They'll finish lower side of the 10s, in the once December gets here. But Florida's offseason championship, something that I think has been pretty impressive, and I feel bad for Miami finally losing that. There's a month to go, month and a half to go. Miami could maybe jump back ahead, but I think Florida's done. I think Florida's lead is too big. Offseason champs, 2023 Florida Gators. They'll complement that with a 5-7 record, which truly just shows how bought in they were on the offseason. Okay. What do we want to talk about today? Hit the comments. That was our intro. That was a good intro, I feel like, Harlan. I came up with that off the top just because I saw Ty in here hanging out. We got Mike in here. We got Courtney, Knowles 407. Shout out Animal House. Shout out to people. Never mind. We shouldn't put up the super chat leader because I think that keeps Jasper from donating. I think if we didn't have that, I'm just kidding. You can leave it there. You can just put TBD. Should it carry over from the last show? I don't know. Harlan's the boss here. Harlan says it should carry over. All right, some recruiting news. Florida State picks up 4 recruits. You guys know this, so we don't have to go through all 4 of them or anything crazy like that. I mostly just want to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. We don't have to go. Prime Day is coming up. Here's what let's talk about Prime Day, and then we'll get into this. Just because nobody wants to hear me talk about this, but I've been watching a couple YouTube videos. I know you guys are on the. We'll talk about the tailgate here in just a minute, but I've heard Prime Day is a scam. Anybody else hear that? I watch way too much YouTube. And I never really was into YouTube before I started doing this. But Amazon Prime just literally does what all the big retail department stores. I don't want to ruin Prime Day for you guys, but Amazon does the same thing all the department retail stores do. They jack prices up incrementally throughout the year, and then they slash them all around Prime Day. And they make you think it's a deal. But Amazon runs the same deals like all year. Like they slash, like I just got a pair of Ultra Boosts from Adidas for they're supposed to be $198. I just got them for $93. And like a week later, they were back up to $198. So I don't know. Yeah, I think Prime Day is kind of a scam. See, all I had to do is crap on Prime Day, and Knowles 407 takes the. Did he take the lead, or how's it work? He's first for today.
Yeah, you ain't going to Florida State. What you doing?
Spends a lot of time. Listen, I don't spend any time on TikTok just for what it is. Somebody sent me a TikTok this morning. I did laugh at it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was relevant to what was going on in their life and my life. Shout out that person who will remain unnamed. But yeah, I spend no time on TikTok. Go Knowles, go Animal House. All right, let's talk about recruiting because you guys are tired of my Prime Day stuff. Okay, here's a question. Yeah, I'll answer that. All right, as far as the tailgate, listen, here's what's in the tailgate. You guys need to be there if you're coming to Orlando. Whether you're going to the game or not, you need to come hang out at the tailgate. Guthrie's is going to be out there cooking live. So that's to me, that's the best part, is that they're going to be out there. We will not run out of food because Guthrie's is literally bringing a truck and cooking out there at the tailgate. But I'm also working with, if you were in New Orleans with us, the jambalaya folks that came out there and they were serving that jambalaya in New Orleans. I believe they're coming as well and serving in Orlando. Tailgate tickets, Harlan, I know I'm asking you to do a lot right now. I don't know if you can throw the tailgate link in the description or not, but we'll throw after the video. It'll be there. Maybe during. We'll see how good Harlan is or not. But you guys need to come out of the tailgate. It'd be fun. Average day in the life of an FSU beat writer and YouTube channel host. Okay, so I'm not a beat writer. I'll say that. Like the guys on the beat do a phenomenal job. They're out there covering. They got to go to practice. They got to be out there in front of the moor to interview recruits. They're checking with sources and stuff. So I've done some of that stuff. But look at Ty. Look at you guys let a hurricane take over.
Put a smile on your face. Okay? Because Florida State, if we going to do it then, we do it big then. Let's go, baby.
Look at a hurricane taking over. I'm still waiting on the fireworks show that FSU was going to put on. All I saw was midness. Okay, leave that up, Harlan, and I want to get to that in just a minute. But you guys let a hurricane outbid you guys. That's Jasper ain't gonna stand for that. I know that. So anyway, so I'm not a big, but average day for me is, so I probably spend 2 to 3 hours on YouTube alone a day. And so a lot of it's just writing out thoughts that I want to end up talking with you guys about, whether it's a live, whether it's a pre-recorded video, whether it's just thinking up content for later. I think that, Harlan helps out a lot too on the back end. Pause, but he does a lot of the helps find the B-roll footage and the video that we show on screen, and so there's a lot going on with it. That doesn't get noticed, doesn't get seen, but on YouTube specifically, and then obviously we run the Discord. If you're not in that, you should join. The links down in the description. We try to be pretty interactive in the Discord. We're trying to talk with sources, talk with people about the program to try and learn insight. There's a lot of trying to figure out what else is going on so that you can kind of report on it and have a good take. So I don't know, probably 2 to 3 hours on YouTube specifically, a couple hours fooling around in Discord, a couple hours chatting with people about the program, chatting with sources, chatting with people on staff, chatting with people, trying to set up interviews. Like we did the thing yesterday with Luke and Derek Ray and stuff. So there's a lot of you think, oh, all he does is 2 to 3 hours a day, and on YouTube specifically maybe, but there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes that people don't see. I could have a 45-minute conversation with somebody on staff and really learn a lot of great insight that gets whittled down into a 10-minute YouTube video. And it was a 10-minute, you guys saw a 10-minute YouTube video, but I spent 3 hours on that, or whatever, right? Like that's just kind of an example. So anyway, average day, there's not an average day. Every day is a little bit different. Every day just, it's crazy. Like there is. Yeah. So the best answer is there is no average day. It's just kind of nuts. So, and then you add in 3 little kids, I think most of you know this, but we have a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and almost 5-year-old. So that makes it tough. I go spend a lot of time outside. So anyway, hey, I think that's a good question though. I think that's fun. Okay. Still waiting on the fireworks show that FSU was going to put on. All I saw was midness. Miami is looking like they're going to get a recruit tonight. Another 3-star. I know that doesn't shock anybody because I think that will be their 12th of their class. They are below, shout out my guy, Salty Chris Fowler. I believe that with that commit, Miami is going to be below a 25% blue chip ratio, which is insane. And Miami, talk about midness. Florida State literally stole 2 recruits from Miami this weekend, one that lives down there in South Florida, both who took their official visits to Miami in late June. They took their visits to Florida State early in June, took their visits to Miami later in June, and they were like, we're not committing to Miami, man. I don't know if Mario tried to make them put on the loafers or what the situation was, but they were like, no thanks to the Miami stuff. So, yeah, Miami not I don't know. Miami's not allowed to talk about midness. You can't go 5-7 and then have 73 3-stars and talk about that. Florida State did pick up 4 commits though this weekend. 4 guys they're really excited about. I love the Elijah Moore take. I think he's phenomenal. I love D.D. Holmes. I think that both Ricky Knight and who am I missing? Red Morgan are probably developmental pieces. I mean, there's no question around that. I don't think that anyone's expecting them to come in and be day one guys. I think they'll have to work for what they get here. But I do think Florida State's really excited about the takes. I think that Red Morgan probably will get a bump. I don't know if he'll get all the way to a 4-star, but I do think he'll get a bump this year when we see more of his film in coverage. I know that he is exactly the kind of safety that Adam Fuller likes, so I really do like the take. I think that Florida State did a good job there. Auburn hometown team and Miami again, where he visited latest in his official visits, both desperately wanted him. And so I think when you can keep somebody away from your rival, and you know how much Mario loves 3-stars this cycle, I think when you can keep somebody away from your rival, I think that's pretty big. I also think that Florida State did a good job to start the month of July. I mean, you know, there's questions around Fox, there's questions around Madison. I think anybody that Florida State significantly wanted, you know, is not getting away to UCF or Missouri. So I'll just leave it at that. But I think they did a good job to start the month of July. And I think what's coming next is about a week from now, you've got 3, 4, 5. How many guys are actually, I got it written down here in the Discord, but how many guys are actually committing on the 15th? Well, obviously 5-star offensive lineman Jonathan Daniels is, Mekhi Danzy is, Kevin Levy is. Am I missing somebody there? I think there's one more that I'm missing that's on the 15th. Oh, I think it's Reagans, Reagans. I don't think we get him. But so I think Florida State picks up 3 more on the 15th. Am I missing somebody there? It feels like I'm missing somebody. And I think the Noles get at least 3 of those guys on the 15th. Is there a 4th one? Who am I missing? You guys let me know in the comments who I'm missing. Ty does a good job. I know that you guys are going to give him a hard time because he's a Canes fan. I saw Courtney burn him earlier, but Ty does a good job. Also, you guys are sitting here letting Ty be the leader on the donation deal. You guys are letting a Hurricane win here today. So, who is? There's got to be. There's a 4th one on the 15th. Harlan, I got to figure out who it is. I got to stop arguing with people and understand what's going on here. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find it. Commitment. Yeah, here we go. Oh, okay. Ashton Hampton, which I don't think Florida State's in that. I think he's going to Clemson. So that's why I didn't remember, because we're not getting the kid. So on the 15th, you've got a lot coming up. I think that you're going to have a good day there. I think you pull in I'm pretty confident you pull in 3 guys as long as Levy's a take, which I think he is at this point. And then later in the month, you have Charles Lester, which I think that one's going to be really, really. What are people calling me during the middle of a live? That's ridiculous. On the 28th, you've got Charles Lester. On August 5th, a week later, you have KJ Bolden and Jalewis Solomon. Jalewis Solomon, that one is getting interesting. Sounds like he's planning to visit South Carolina just before that commitment. South Carolina's event is on the 28th. Florida State's is on the 29th. Obviously, you'd love to get him to town on the 29th, right before he commits, if possible. Jalewis Solomon is getting interesting, but I think you pick up 3 on the 15th. I think you pick up 1 certainly on the 28th. And then about a week later, you've got KJ Bolden and Jalewis Solomon. As of right now, I feel like the Noles go 1 for 2 there. I don't think they're in a position to get KJ Bolden at this point. I do think the Noles are going to play the long game there. I do think that they're going to stay in that recruitment. I think that they're going to continue to push there. And we'll see what happens as the season goes on. I think he's going to end up at Georgia. But continue to push and continue to see what you can do down the stretch. I don't think anyone else is committing the same day as Lester. I just saw that comment. I think it's just Lester on the 28th. But if you see somebody else, that I'm happy to be corrected there if there is someone else there on the 28th. Hey, Garnet and Gold has almost sold out of their jerseys. And so if you guys haven't gotten those and the season's coming up, you need to make sure that you go to garnetandgold.com. Get your FSU, the new Nike jerseys. Had people asking about it, had people asking about different colors, sizes, this, that, and the other. $100. The authentic one's like $140, I think. $100. You save 15% by using code NOSLAW. That's NOSLAW. The coaches' polos are in there as well. The coaches' polos are the other. If you're not a jersey guy anymore, I'm not a jersey guy anymore. So I'm out on the jersey. If they have a kids one, Bryant will get a kids jersey. Maybe Elena too. But I am a polo guy. So the coaches' polos are there as well. I think they're like $60, $70. So you take 15% off that, and you get a pretty good deal by using NOSLAW. NOSLAW. Miami getting another commit tomorrow. Yeah, again, 3-Stario. I saw somebody call Mario 3-Stario. I thought that was funny. They wrote it out like this. I thought this was good. I thought this was hilarious. And so, yeah, that's hilarious for me. Oops. All right. Shout out the Animal House. How can we get the gray Norvell hoodie? Okay, so the gray Norvell hoodie is sold out. And Nike's not making it anymore. So the last year's hoodie, last year is last year. You unless you find that secondhand eBay, you win in a raffle, something like that, that one's gone. Can't get it on Garnet Gold. Can't get it anywhere. Nike's done making it. It's sold out everywhere. But I expect Coach Norvell to have another There's one that's similar that is on garnetandgold.com. It's not last year's, a little bit different shade, little bit different patch, but it is close. I think Plaz goes to Miami, Antoine. I wish, but I don't think he goes to Miami. There is another hoodie coming out this year that I think you guys will like. So go check that out. Garnetandgold.com. Appreciate them for their support. Michael says he would. That's a good idea. Michael says he would recommend the gray hoodie that they have. It's not the gray hoodie, but it is a gray hoodie, so it's something. Okay, let's reset here. What else do you guys want to talk about? Harlan, what were those things that I had sent you? I have them here in another message. I want to give you guys a little preview for what may be coming down the pike here. What we may have coming for you guys. I still can't believe Ty is winning this thing right now. Courtney's rich. Why hasn't she done it, Harlan? Sad. Okay. We've got some videos coming out. And do you think Florida State – I want to ask you guys this. Yeah. Before I give my take. If you haven't seen them yet, you have not seen the 2023 defense play. Nair Daniels, no shot. Sorry. I hate to be that blunt with it, but no shot. You haven't seen the 2023 defense play yet. And so this is hard, and I'm asking you guys to step out on a limb, but nobody respond, oh, I haven't seen him, I don't know. You're making a prediction. This is prediction time. Where would you rank going into the season, knowing what you know about who we have coming back, who we picked up in the portal, everything else? Fintrell Cypress, Braden Fisk, getting Fabo back, getting everybody back except for Robert Cooper, Duke Cooper transfer, Jamie Robinson to the NFL. Where would you rank FSU's defense in the country? Are they top 10 to you? Are they top 20? I'd love a specific number. I don't want top 20. 17. I want 17. Don't say top 20. I don't want top 10. Give me 8 or 10 or whatever your number is. 30. Where do you guys have? Okay, you guys are doing the top 10, top 20 thing. I just said not to do it. Courtney, number 1. See, that's what I want. I want a specific number. I think there's a delay. I won't give you guys a hard time. All right, we got 35th. I think that's low. 7, I think that's high. 33, I think that's high. Or low. I think we'll be somewhere. 9, 8. A lot of these preseason rankings that are coming out have Florida State. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Ty is extending his lead.
Fire up the war chant and plant the spear. Nose wind.
Okay, we're gonna leave this up. I'm gonna make a bet with Ty. We'll see if he takes it on the show or not. Ty, if Charles Lester commits to Colorado on the 29th or 28th, sorry, he's committing on the 28th. I don't want there to be any loopholes for this. If Charles Lester to Colorado would be epic, Deion Sanders would become public enemy number 1 in Tallahassee. #we coming. If Charles Lester commits to Colorado on the 29th, I'll let you pick, Ty. I will do a video with either a Colorado hat or a Miami hat on this channel. My next video that comes out will be either a Miami hat or a Colorado hat. You can pick it. My fans will hate that. But if he commits to FSU on the 28th, your next video on YouTube has to be in a Florida State hat. So a bet's open. If you feel like Lester's going there, I'm happy to make that bet with you. We'll do that. I'll do a video. If he goes to Colorado, I'll do a video in either, again, a Colorado hat, I'll do a primetime hat, whatever you want, or a Miami hat. You can pick. It could be a bright orange Miami hat. But if he goes to FSU, if he commits to FSU, you have to go with you have to do an FSU hat video. So you tell me, and you got to be like praising FSU in it. You tell me if the bet, Miami hat, he'll take the bet. All right, we're locked in. Orlando, no. All right, we're locked in. Hey, we had another one. We had another one up there.
Touchdown, Florida State. Touchdown, FSU.
Ty's spending all the money on TJ because Miami tickets are so cheap. Listen, when you can get your tickets on Groupon, that's it. I mean, Our tickets aren't like that. I wish we could get our tickets on Groupon. So I don't. Knowles 407, thank you for the love. Groupon's a good deal, man. You get like some 2-for-1s. Actually, I think they do them like 3 or 4-for-1s. Hey, you buy one ticket, we'll give you like 3 games free. Get on down there to Miami. I saw the Miami player. I feel bad. You guys see those commercials where it's like the dogs that have been abused, or I'm not making a joke about this, but the kids and like the malnourished kids, things like that. Don't those videos like rip your heart out. They always play like Sarah McLachlan, in the background, in the arms of an angel. Did you see the Miami player begging people to come out to the games this year? Why has nobody photoshopped or put in? Somebody will do it now that I just gave away the secret sauce. But did you see the Miami player begging people to come out to game? That's immediately what I thought of. I thought of the dogs that had like been abused, been abused. Oh, for 33 cents a day, you can rescue this puppy and, give it a home. That's what I felt like. The arms of the angel when that Miami player was like begging people to come to the game. So anyway, thank you, Knowles 407. Big 3 tie still winning though. So I need Jasper to step in here and straighten things out. Jasper probably went home today, so he's had enough of me. Jasper carried us last week. And Scott, somebody tag Midwest Seminoles fan in the Discord and tell him to get in here. Scott won't let this stand. I know that. I got my guy Brent always says he's going to help out too. I don't know where Brent is. Get the big ballers in here. Brent always says he's going to do it, but what's the coffee order? This is just a black coffee in a Hollywood Studios mug. Can you see in there? Just a black coffee. It's from Dunkin'. Whoa, I just spilled some. What an idiot. Right on my pants. From Dunkin', black coffee. Nothing crazy today. Psycho. Yeah. Was it a psycho move for the black coffee or for the fact that I just dumped it all over all over my pants by trying to show you guys? What a weirdo. Okay. What else do we want to talk about today? Oh, okay. So FSU's defense, the super chats threw me off here. When the ACC make the playoffs. Okay. So who was I watching today? Big Lou, Harlan's guy. Harlan loves, Courtney, I'm going through the same thing you've been going through this week. Harlan loves Big Lou. Oh, Uncle Lou. Uncle Lou, Big Lou, whatever. All the Lou's. Shout out Lou. Uncle Lou, y'all watch him? He's entertaining. I watched his what did I watch? I think I watched the Miami. No, I watched the Clemson one. His prediction on Clemson. He's got us. Listen, I don't mean to give away his whole video because it was a good video. You guys should go watch it. But Uncle Lou said he's got us going 11-1. And the only he said, Harlan, you watch this too? The only reason he picked LSU to beat us is because he just didn't want to predict us to go 12-0. Like, he's like, I don't know that I'm predicting anybody to go 12-0. I'm sure he'll pick Georgia to go 12-0 because their schedule is cake. But he was just like, I just had to find a loss. I couldn't find a loss on this schedule, so I just gave him LSU as a loss. But, like, they might win that game. Now, he also said, like, they might lose to Clemson on the road. But Uncle Lou is super high on Florida State this year, and he's got us going to the ACC, possibly winning the championship. So, speaking on the ACC and the championship and everything else, I think Uncle Lou, he does a great job just in general, but I really enjoyed his video this week. I haven't watched it. I'm glad you guys like him. I haven't watched a ton of his stuff, but again, I do think that one was really, really good. Okay. Somebody told me to turn the gain down the other day. My voice pops sometimes on this thing. I don't know. How do you think it sounds today, Harlan? Good? A little bit better than normal? Yeah, Harlan gave me the thumbs up. FSU's defense, man, we really got off subject there. If you had to rank FSU's defense right now, he doesn't believe in a team in Florida will win a champ. Well, I don't want that doesn't fit my narrative, so I'm not saying that. Yeah, we beat LSU 55-27. I like that. 27 is a little too much to give up. But let's see here. How much? Okay, so let's do our defense. Then we'll go back to talking about us beating Georgia and stuff. I I think I'd have us somewhere around top 10. Is that crazy? Here's what is good for FSU, I think, and why I think they have a chance to go top 10. How many offenses that we face this year do you look at right now and say, like, I'm worried about that offense? Like, I'm worried about this offense that's rolling out on the field against us. I think LSU has some weapons, but I don't think they're an offense. I think they're just more of a complete team. I did say don't do top 10. Hold on, I'll do this. They're not a team that worries me. That last minute doesn't count. That never happened. That was fake news. Clemson's got talent. Clemson's got a lot of talent, but I need to see what Klubnik does. Starting a relatively inexperienced, a very inexperienced quarterback. I'm not worried about Pittsburgh's offense. I'm not worried about Miami. I'm not worried about Florida's offense. Good Lord. I'm not. Whose offense are you worried about? NC State doesn't have Lear anymore. Wake doesn't have Hartman. Is there an offense out there that you're concerned about? I mean, again, I think Clemson and LSU are good teams. I think Will Shipley is really good. I do think Clemson has a lot of weapons, but I don't really look at their offense as like, oh man, I think that, because I need to see the quarterback play. Now, if Klubnik comes out and they beat Duke by 40 and then they're 3-0 rolling into that game, yes, I'm sure at that point I'll change my mind. But if that's it, is that the only offense that like really scared? Like LSU's offense doesn't scare me. I think LSU has a lot of talent. I worry about their defensive line in the middle. I like Mason Smith a lot. I like Harold Perkins a lot. I'm not really worried about their secondary. And that might be a high-scoring game, but I don't know. So I think Florida State's offense, like last year, you just said, look at that, Jasper.
You a recruit and you ain't going to Florida State. What you doing?
Fire up the war chant and plant the spear. Nose wind, nose wind.
You can leave that up 12th, and I want to know what people are thinking about Fisk and how he's looked. Okay, I'll talk about that in just a minute. But yeah, I think around 12th, I think 10th. I want to put him in the top 10. I want to be a little bit biased. I try and be somewhat reasoned. I try and be somewhat logical with takes. But yeah, I just want to be a homer here. I want to say top 10. I want to say number 9. I want to say they're the 9th best team in the country. And if they're the 9th best team in the country and they have a top 3 offense, they need to be pushing for a playoff spot. Right? Not that they can't go 10-2, not that they can't go to the New Year's Six. But if they're a top 5 offense, a top 3 offense, and a top 10 defense, I think Florida State's going to have a top 3 offense this year. And I don't think that's ridiculous to project. Yeah, Antoine, they do. They really do. But if you have a top 3 offense and a top 10, top 12, top 15 defense, you should win 10 or 11 games easily, especially when you consider what we're going to be playing up against. Florida State's going to be a favorite in 10 or more games. I think, yeah, so the only reason I didn't say that we're the number 1 offense is just because I think USC's defense is so bad that just total, like efficiency-wise, I think Florida State will have one of the best offenses. I think USC just throws the ball every single down and doesn't play a lick of defense, and so they're going to have more stats. I do want to see the secondary. I think you're right on that. As far as Fisk, I think Fisk has been limited just with came in a sling, came in with his shoulder. I think expect him to be good to go day 1. I'm really anticipating what things look like in fall. And here's why. Remember last year, people have asked about Cypress, who's starting between Green and Jarian Jones, and how Cypress isn't maybe a starter just yet. They said, I think people forgot, but I think people forgot that Florida State, like Jared Verse wasn't a starter coming out of spring. Now, I think we all knew that because of his talent, he would be, but he wasn't a starter locked in, penciled in coming out of spring. And I think a lot of that has to do with they haven't grasped the entire playbook by that point. They haven't grasped the entire defense by that point. And so I think with Cypress, I think he will end up starting. And I think other guys probably look like they're slightly ahead of where he is. mostly because he's only been on campus for 4 months or so, 5 months, 6 months. So yeah, I think he will get there. I think that, I'm excited to see what that secondary looks like. I think that, you obviously lost a massive piece in Robinson. How do you account for that? How do you make up for that? How much do the young guys factor in? Do you, I've seen talk about moving Knowles back to safety. How does all that shake out? But, a great defense is only a great defense if the defensive line eats. And what Florida State's defensive line looked like with and without Fabo last year were pretty remarkably different. And so we'll see, what they look like this year with hopefully a pretty improved defensive line. I think that, I love Robert Cooper for everything he gave, but I think you probably upgraded your other tackle position, and you have a lot more depth. Fabo hasn't put together a full year yet. I need to see that out of Fabian Lovett if he wants to get drafted. But I think that you have a chance to have upgraded the interior of your defensive line, and you've got a great, great chance to shut some teams down. Again, the only teams that really maybe worry you from an offensive perspective are Clemson and LSU. I'm not worried about anybody else's offense at all. Any other game, okay, I'll say this. Any other game that if we lose another game this year, I think it's going to be because the offense falls asleep. I'm not worried about the defense against anyone else. I'm not worried about the defense just losing it. And maybe that's bullish. Maybe that's kind of – I like the defense this year. I think statistically and the way they play this year is going to be top 10-ish. People get upset about the defense when they see they see that the defense played bad against good teams. Again, when you play against good offenses, the team is going to not look as good, right? When you play against offenses that are good, that just makes sense, doesn't it? Georgia gave up, 41 to Ohio State last year? Georgia had one of the best defenses we've ever seen ever. And they give up 30 to LSU. When you play good offenses, you're going to give up more points. That's fun. David Hale, FSU's defense in 2022 with Fabian Lovett, 193 snaps, 3.37 yards of play. Without him, 5.27 yards of play. Okay, so that stat to me is really interesting. Courtney thinks it's interesting. She put that in there. Here's what's tough, or what makes that stat tough for me, and maybe I'll even message David and just say, hey, what do you think about this? But what's tough to gauge about that is Fabian missed the stretch where we played the best offenses on our schedule. And so that, to me, that's what's tough about trying to figure out chicken or the egg, right? Did we I'd imagine that as good as Fabian is, this is not a slam toward him. If he'd have played against Clemson and Wake Forest, the defense would have looked better, but still not as good as it did when we played against Miami and Georgia Tech, if that makes sense, right? So I think Fabian definitely makes a difference, but I don't know that he comes in and we just all of a sudden shut down Wake Forest, or we just all of a sudden shut down Clemson. Now, I think he helps, and in one-score games, could have been the difference in the game, certainly. But I don't think that he would have made the difference. Fabian got to play against really bad offenses all year. And so I think there's some hope, some cause for optimism there, but I don't think that it's, if he'd have been in against Clemson, that was what we easily win that game, or we easily beat Wake Forest. I think the offense is what cost you the Wake Forest game, just for the record. I think you knew Wake was going to come in and put up points. They had just scored 50 on Clemson, a week or two before that. I think the offense is really what caused. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I like that stat by David. I do think it's important. I do think it's him put a band on the super chat. Yeah, I'm here for that. Somebody, my guy Brent told me it keeps declining on him. He can't do the super chat. I don't know, man. I've never done it on my end. I'll have Harlan hit you up. You just got to make sure your Google thing is connected to the right payment source or whatever. I don't know how to do this stuff, man. I sit on this side of it. But Brent tried. So if Brent could have done it, we'd have played a noise for him. So NC State was on the punter. We're not talking about that. All right. Oh, we got Ty hitting on Courtney in the chat. That's cute too. My guy, Ty. Get after it, bud. Shout out the Animal House. Shout out Gramco. Been a minute here. We'll give Gramco some love. TheGramco.com. Harley, can you throw a Gramco logo over the Guthries? We give Guthries a lot of love. So, take the Guthries down. But TheGramco.com. TJ25 at checkout. Hey, if you haven't re-upped on your gummies, your vapes, your pre-rolls, Ty, you need a couple of these to chill you out a little bit. Go get you some blue raspberry gummies. There's the gummy inside of Doke. That got consumed by yours truly. Shout out thegramco.com. TJ25 at checkout, your leader in Delta 8 products. Founded by Seminoles. They are vet-owned. Appreciate Gramco for all that they do. All right, we got a big one.
You a recruit and you ain't going to Florida State, what you doing?
Put a smile on your face. Okay? Because Florida State, if we gonna do it then, we do it big then. Let's go, baby.
Look at my guy, Brad. Brad, you are the man. $50 from Brad Rivas. He didn't even say anything. He didn't even have a comment. Brad, you could comment anything you want the rest of the day. We'll throw up on the screen. Brad didn't even have a comment. Dude, those edibles do last way too long. Brad's just the man, just coming in here and supporting. No comment, no nothing to say. Brad just showing love because he's the man. That's what kind of vibe Brad is on. Brad's coming in here to win and be number one. Brad doesn't care about comments or getting his takes off. Brad legit just wants to be the man. And so, shout out Brad. I feel like Brad's going to be our winner today. We'll see, though. We'll see if, again, Midwest might be in here. We got some big ballers in here, though, so we'll see. Not a new mic. This is the same mic I've been using. I just actually play with the settings so that I don't sound like an idiot. So yeah, shout out me for actually picking the right setting this time. But no, not a new mic. Same mic we've been using. I'm glad that you guys noticed it, though. Listen, I got nothing on the kicking battle. Kyle. Hey, is Kyle who I think he is? Okay, is that Kyle? I'm not trying to dox anybody, but I think it is. There's like 17 Kyles in the chat. Like, it's hard to keep everybody straight. I got nothing. Why? I don't know. Taylor's trying to help out too. Taylor's trying to get in on the love. I don't know, man. Y'all got to take it up with YouTube. I don't know why. Make sure that your payment thing is set up. Make sure that your payment thing is connected well. I can't do the technical stuff, man. It's our Kyle. I got nothing on the kicking battle. What I will say is this. I really love, I love Ryan Fitzgerald. I know that he's taking a lot of crap. I was very excited to see him bounce back last year. I was excited to see him be able to kick well down the stretch. I know that sucks when you're going through that, and I really do love Fitzgerald. I hope he can figure it out. I hope he is the kicker here this year. I'm hoping the competition is healthy. I mean, kicking is so mental. I don't know, but I got nothing on the game. I think both of them looked good and both looked terrible at times during spring is basically what I was told. So we'll see how that shakes out once the fall rolls around. If we just scored, yeah, Daddy Noel tried to do $300. I don't believe that. Some people do. Again, shout out Brad for being the GOAT, but some people do like hundreds of dollars on some other lives that I've seen, and we gotta eventually get those people over here. Maybe I shouldn't have talked so much smack earlier on in my days, but those people that do the 500s and stuff, those are pay a light bill or something around here. Sheesh. Yeah, I was going to say, kicking. We're not kicking any field goals this year. Can they make a point after touchdown? Even if they can't, just go for two every time. Jump ball to Johnny or Keon. Who's kicking field goals this year? I wouldn't kick a field goal to save my life. Unless it's like 4th and 15 from the 16, I'm not kicking any field goals. Harlan, you kicking field goals this year? Point after touchdowns, that's it. And I say go for 2 on those. Just we're not field goals. What do you need field goals? Yeah, I'm not even kicking extra points, man. Let Destin Hill line up there and kick extra points. At least you know he'll be clutch, right? Athlete. Whoever single covered. That's a great question. Who are you throwing your jump balls to? Keon or Johnny Wilson? They're matchup nightmares. They are absolute matchup nightmares. Oh, somebody texted me and said, if your super chat is declining, go to your Google Pay, take off the credit card or Venmo or whatever you have attached and reattach it. And it should work fine. Make sure you got enough money in your bank account, they said as well. But I love my friends that are just smart, you know what. They say if you disassociate your credit card, put it back on, it should work fine. They said it happened to them too. Thank you, person who will not be named in my text right now. Yeah, if they single cover either one of them, it's over. Like, I love Michael Pittman, but there's no way we should be throwing jump balls to Michael Pittman in the end zone, right? Come on. And I know that was game 1. I know that we were just trying to figure stuff out. I know that Johnny hadn't really broken out yet, but come on. Yeah, I think they're not going to be able to double cover everyone. So you just got to go with whoever's open. You got to go with whoever has the single coverage on them. And if two people have if they in the red zone, if they're doubling Johnny and Keon, I mean, Jordan's walking the thing in. So there's just no way to guard Florida State in the red zone. None at all. I saw somebody else put the stat that Florida State has the most experienced offensive line ever coming into this year. I think that's pretty telling. I think you also see the team just run a lot in the red zone. Miami just pick up another 3-star. Is that what happened? Congratulations to Miami. Congratulations to 3-Stario. Miami's bringing it. Hey, if you got a 3-star that you got your eyes on right now and you're trying to pick him up, y'all are in trouble because Mario is not playing around when it comes to 3-stars this year. Mario is on not warpath because that's our thing, but Mario's not messing around. You got a 3-star that you're looking at, Mario will snatch that from you. Unless he's considering FSU, then, we will take him. But Mario's not playing with 3-stars this year. Okay, so take that very seriously if you got one you're looking at. We gave some love to Gramco and Garnet and Gold. Of course, shout out Guthrie's. If you're in Tallahassee or anywhere near a Guthrie's, make sure that you go get your box double fries, no slaw. Anybody live in Tallahassee? Any comment real quick on the live chat if you live in or around Tallahassee, anywhere within an hour. All right, I'll Harlan, are you an hour away? Are you more than a little bit more, or like an hour to Doak? Oh, like the edge. Yeah, Tallahassee's big. Okay, so if you're in Tallahassee, give me a comment real quick. Valdosta. Look at Jasper. There's Jasper. Valdosta. Right. Harlan, you're in Valdosta, right? Or close to it? Thomasville. Yeah. Okay, listen, if y'all are in Tallahassee, go get a gut box and tell them we sent you. But if you're not, listen, I've got 3. This is so rude. Who's calling me here? Potential spam. It's never anybody important. My guy Mike's in Tallahassee. Listen, if you're in Tallahassee, you need to go hit Smoothie Time too. Smoothie Time's over there by the Beef O'Brady's on Capitol Circle. Tell my guy Eric that we sent you in. Smoothie Time's the GOAT. A little healthier option than Guthrie's. Okay. We got what do we got here? 10 minutes left. Shout out the Animal House. What else you guys want to talk about here? All right, so we got defense. We talked about defense. This is a good one. This is a really good one. I'm going to do a video on this soon, so I don't want to give away too much here. But I do want you guys' take. If you had to re-rank right now, FSU's roster, like re-star rank them, who would be your 5 stars on this roster? Like, who would you put a 5-star tag on today? I guess if somebody announced they were going in the transfer portal right now, who would be a 5-star? If they announce it, because they don't re-rank guys if they're just on a roster. But if somebody was to put their name in the portal right now, they would re-rank them. So we got Vincent, can't read. We got Benson, Jared Verse in the comments. Jordan Travis a 5-star? If he's getting re-ranked right now, he's a top 3 quarterback in college football. PFF had him at number 1. Is Jordan a 5-star if he goes in right now? JT's got to be. JT absolutely has to be. Keon? I think Keon was just a 4-star when he got re-ranked right there. So maybe not Keon. Jordan definitely. Also, I don't love the transfer rankings, by the way. I don't think they're as good. I think if you're going by the transfer rankings, most of these guys would be high 4s, but in all honesty, like if you're re-ranking the class like from a high school, they'd be a 5-star, right? Maybe Jordan would be 4. Yeah, because what it's supposed to mimic and what it's supposed to mock is kind of where they would be drafted. You guys think Johnny Wilson can go first round? Because if he could sneak into the late first round, PFF's putting out their wide receiver rankings for the draft on Sunday, I was told. If he would go late first round, then I think you'd have to say that Johnny Wilson's a 5-star. Yo, man, Eliezer, this is a great comment. I think I get the 3 in big 3 for Ty now. Looking at their stars. I think that's good. Okay, yeah, let's talk about that, Harlan, because I can rant on that a little bit. UF, again, I didn't like this argument from UF because it's just not staying focused. But did you see the UF fans saying that Ricky Pearsall was better than Johnny Wilson? No statistic in... You know what I did see a Gator fan say the other day, Harlan? I saw a Gator fan say... that Pearsall caught more touchdowns per reception. So like he had less receptions and thus less yards. His average was similar to Johnny Wilson's. And so they said he caught more. If you just go on touchdowns per reception, he made it count more. And I was just like, oh my goodness, what a terrible spin that is. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that but anyway, UF's not focused right now because we started this talking about this, but if they're going to win this offseason championship, if they're going to win the offseason hype championship and take that title away from Miami, they can't be arguing our wide receiver 1 versus your wide receiver 1. They got to stay focused. They got to stay focused on the task at hand, and that task at hand is beating Miami, beating the Canes for the offseason championship. And arguing Pearsall versus Birdman, that's not going to help them win an offseason championship. Ricky Pearsall will probably have good numbers again this year. You know what? Ricky Pearsall might – okay, I don't want to go crazy here. But their wide receiver room is god-awful. Awful. The quarterback is terrible. The worst in the SEC. In fact, I don't even think he's 14. How about this? I saw the rankings of quarterbacks in the SEC, and they had him at 14th. I don't think that's accurate. I think there's 2 on Ole Miss's roster that are better. I think there's 2 on LSU's roster that are better. I think there are 2 on Georgia's roster that are better than Graham Mertz. There might be 2 on Texas A&M's roster that are better. And I just don't know the rest of the SEC well enough to know if there are other backups that are that good. But he's like 17th. All that said, Pearsall might. This is a might. Don't jump on me for this. But Florida State's going to spread the ball around a ton this year. Pearsall might have better numbers than Johnny Wilson this year because I think that's their only option. If you throw to him enough, you throw him the ball 400 times because your only option, it's merged, so 200 of those will be accurate. 200 good targets, he might have better numbers because I think Florida State's going to spread the rock around. You're going to have a lot of Florida State's going to be up by a lot. You're not going to have Johnny Wilson playing a lot of second halves. Okay, so there's my take. He might have better numbers. But for anyone who can watch football this year, or anyone who's watched football at all through their life, there's no doubt that Johnny Wilson's a better wide receiver. And there's no doubt that he's going to be a better NFL wide receiver too. I don't know. UF fans aren't focused right now. Got to win that offseason championship. Arguing about Pearsall and Johnny Wilson, not the thing you should be doing. Hey, another shout out to Brad Rivas. Just coming in here and making the day. Here's what's good about what Brad did. It's good for Brad. It's bad for us. It basically scared everyone else off from trying to compete with Brad because Brad came out like a big baller and shut everybody else down. So now nobody else is even trying to win. So, Brad, we appreciate it, but you shut down the competition too early. Next week, I need you to just do that at the buzzer. All right? Don't let everyone else think they have a chance. You came in and you saved the day too early, if that makes sense. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to complain about Brad. Brad was the MVP of today's show. So, listen, do you guys like the plaque? Do you like the plaque down below? The plaque down below is elite. We used to have it just up in the corner. We made it today. You get featured on the plaque. I think that's dope. Brad was lucky that that Scott wasn't in here because Scott and Brent couldn't get the thing figured out. I think they would have probably challenged a little bit. They'll challenge next week. Hey, next week we'll try and do this again, same time, Friday at like 11 or so, and we'll have like 3 or 4 commitments the next day. So that'll be fun to go live the day before all that stuff happens. So anyway, listen, that's not me trying to crap on Ricky Pearsall. I will say I think he's a good wide receiver. I think he will go to the league. I think he'll get drafted. I think he's sneaky good. He's just not Johnny Wilson. Like, let's just not play on that. Like, this is not even a competition. I had a top 5 quarterback thrown to him last year, and he still didn't put up the numbers and Florida State, by all accounts, what the rivals say, this isn't my take, but what the rivals say is Florida State had a running back thrown to him, and Florida had a top 5 quarterback. So for, Johnny Wilson to put up better stats, I mean, that just, there's no chance. All right, we got about 2 minutes. What do you guys want this last 2 minutes? You do something fun? Anyone want to jump up and try and challenge Brad on here? Anybody want to shout out the Animal House? Anything we missed today? Anything you want to complain about? What you guys got? Listen, I'm hoping the DB play improves. I'm hoping the DB play gets better with Pat Surtain. I think the development's going to get better. So, yeah, I like that take. I think Pat Surtain is going to do wonders for our defensive backs. I don't know that I expect it to just be a week one, it's 4 Deion Sanders clones back there. I think it'll take time. But, I expect Florida State to improve in the secondary, without a doubt. Talent's certainly improved. I think that Jarian Jones and Renardo Green are both going to be improved and better. They both showed a lot of flashes last year. Certainly at the end of the year, you added probably the best corner in the portal from the Power 5. I'm tired of saying that. Until what's his name at Colorado put something on film, you added the best corner in the portal in Fintrell Cypress, and then it's how do you replace a really good player in Jamie Robinson, kind of your heartbeat of the defense. So that, to me, that's what it comes down to. But if the defensive line can be as good as we think they will be, I think that'll help the secondary be improved and look better. Jasper, my guy, coming in late. One more. Appreciate you, Jasper. Shout out the DFNS Discord family.
Fire up the war chant and plant the spear. Nose win. Nose win.
Okay, that's a good question to finish with. Who has the most to prove on the roster this year? No, don't put Courtney on the screen. Oh, God, Harlan. I'm just playing. You can leave her up. The most to prove. I'll answer Josh's question too here in a minute. Yeah, the most improved to me, I think Brad might be on it. So there's a couple. Number one, on offense, I think it's Jordan Travis. And here's my take on that real quick. I don't doubt Travis at all, but I think a lot of people think that last year might have been a fluke. And so he just needs to go out and show that it wasn't. All right. He needs to stay healthy for all 12 games like he did last year, minus, the second half against Louisville. I think Jordan Travis needs to go out there and back up what he did last year. If he does that again, he's going to be in New York for the Heisman presentation. So, yeah, I think he's proven enough, but I'm not doubting him at all. And I think he will go out and do it. So I don't want you to take it as me doubting him at all. But I think Jordan needs to go out and back it up. On defense, I think Fabo and Dent are probably your two guys you're looking at. I think Dent has been in college. This is his fifth year, right? Needs to go out and make some things happen and be a dude. Right now, I think Dent is a good player for Florida State, above average to good. He needs to go out there and be that guy, right? 5-star in high school. But when Dent plays, do you think like, oh, that's a 5-star for sure, right? No, not yet. I haven't seen that yet. So Dent needs to go out and do it. Fabo needs to put together a full year. I know what I'm going to get out of Jared Verse. I know what I'm going to get out of Pat Payton. I know what I'm going to get out of a lot of the defensive guys, Tatum, Bethune, Lundy. I know what I'm going to get out of Kalen. But I need to see it out of Fabo for a full year. Fabo, again, we showed that stat from David. Fabo's got a big reputation. Shout out Taylor Swift, who released an album last night at midnight again. Big reputation there for Fabo of, hey, when Florida State's defense was good, Fabo was in. When they were bad, he wasn't. All right, let's see. Let's see, Fabo. Go out there and prove it, right? So those would be my picks. Fitzgerald would be my special teams one. Whoever wants to step up at kicking. But again, I'd say Jordan Travis, go out and back it up again. Akeem Dent, go out and be a guy, be a dude, be a stud for this defense. Don't just be a guy out there, be the dude. And Fabo, put together a full year. That's a good question, Courtney. That's one of the better questions we've had in a long time. Not to crap on anybody else who gives good questions there. But Courtney, that was a really good question. We might do a video on that. Hold on, write that down. Who has the most approved this year? There was one more question I thought that was really good. What are the odds that UF ends up with a 15 to 20 recruiting rankings at the end of the year? I think pretty low. I think Florida finishes with a top 10 class. They're doing a good job in recruiting right now. Kids are committing to them and know that they sucked last year, and the kids know they're going to suck this year too. But Florida's doing a good job of selling the program, and I think they're doing a good job with NIL. And so I think they're getting kids to commit. I think they're doing a good job of that right now, and we'll see if they can keep it up. But I don't think Florida's going 5-7 or 6-6 this year. I don't think that half their class decommits. Could a guy here or there decommit? Absolutely. I think the stats are something like 80+% of kids that 80. Let's say 80%. Let's do it conservatively. 80% of guys that commit stay committed. So if they take a class of 25 guys. Or 20, what do they have right now? They have 18 guys. 18 times 0.8. It'd be like 3 guys decommitting. I mean, that's not dropping them down to 15 to 25. Maybe drop them down to like 10 from 3. But yeah, I don't think that Florida's going to see huge decommitment or anything like that, even when they do suck this year. So yeah, I think they finish with a top 10 class. All right, that's all I got. Shout out the Discord. Shout out Guthrie's, Gramco, Garnet and Gold, Smoothie Time, all the supporters, all the super chats. Brad's the GOAT. Jasper, Knowles 407. Ty, even Hurricane Ty, took a break from Mario getting 3 stars to come in here and show some love. Thank you guys for hanging out. Listen, come hang out at the tailgate. Hopefully, I saw it go in the comments. Hopefully that I'll put it in the description if it's not there already. I bet Harlan did it. He's the GOAT. You talking some big talk about UF knowing the F it. Yeah, we're not answering Florida questions here. You guys suck, and you're going to suck again this year. But shout out the Discord. But thank you for tuning in. yeah, we're going to beat you guys by at least 10 in the Swamp this year. I'll take Florida State minus 10 right now at UF. So if you're not in the Discord, we'll keep this party going over there. Link is in the description. Thank you guys for hanging out. Hit me in the Discord, Tawan, and we'll put a bet on Florida State winning this year in the Swamp. Love you guys. Go Noles.